What's up, everybody? This is Roots of Black. Not bringing you the Septuagint. That's usually what we say because, yeah, the Septuagint is. So if you wanted to, so even if you go in and you pick up a King James version of the Bible, I'm doing air quotations in that, there, that the old, quote, not the quotations, will be bigger than the new quotations book. So you should be reading more of the old than the new. Which I mean, just truly think about that. The Old Testament is so much larger than the New Testament. How the hell do you don't pick out majority of the one that's the majority, and then that just shows you how crazy they are. That they really don't want anything to do with the Old Testament. They don't. They only want to do with it when it comes to like Genesis and stuff like that. Genesis and certain parts of Exodus and Leviticus, and even then they still don't even want to go to Leviticus because the reason they don't want to go to those is because Moses is the lawgiver. Christianity says you can't do the law. They eat pork. They do this and that. So they can't go and teach those. I mean, they can't teach the Old Testament. They can't because their practices go against the Old Testament. That's why they never do it. They only talk about the Book of Genesis in the beginning because it's easy to do this and that. But they don't. They don't go deep. And they go into Psalms and stuff like that. When the Christians teach the Old Testament, it's Genesis, Psalms, and Proverbs. You guys know this. You've been in the church before. You've been in church before. They don't go into the Old Testament. They don't. They go into the New in order to trick you. That's basically what they're doing. So it sucks, but yeah, but this is a New Testament video here. So we're going to go to Moon Plus Reader Pro. If you have an Android, you, if you have an Android, you must. It's a must buy. Hurry up and buy. Throw your money. As you can see here, I got all of the different Bibles here. 1611 King James Authorized Edition. One of these days, I'm actually do a super comparison of this, but it's just I have a job, so can't do this the way I would like it to. Because if I got paid to do this, of course I would be doing this, and I will bring you everything because I mean I will have time to do it. The 8 hours, plus hours that I'm at work, I can do this. This is another reason why they made the earth what it is today, where you have to be a slave, where they made interest turning to a slave. Because if you didn't have the type of environment that you did, most of you will actually find the Most High yourself because you'll have time. And when your curiosity was there, you will probably start reading it yourself. But they made the earth where you basically have to be a slave and be so tired that you don't feel like doing anything but just shutting your mind off. That's why they made TV. That's why it's called Tell Your Vision Programming. They're programming you. This is what they're doing. So they're programming you to not do anything but want to watch TV. So yeah, but we're gonna go to King James version here. Okay, and it's already on Matthew. So we're gonna go. It's Matthew, but okay. I didn't even know we were that far down in Matthew. Now, as you can see here, there's more of the notes there. Let me see what that looks. Oh, come on, man. Oh, it probably isn't even a note. No, it isn't. It's just a highlight. Okay. Just, highlighted gospel. Because, I have to highlight some of these words because they're worth going back to. All right. So this one's going to be deep. But hopefully, with your understanding, I don't have to go so far into this here because, we got better now. So this is chapter 7. Okay. Before I get into this, Christians teach you verses. So because they teach you verses, you'll have a person say this. And because they didn't read it all, they just remember their pastor telling them this verse or heard the verse on YouTube or read it as a meme, but they never truly read the whole thing. So I'm about to, even though you're grown, still doesn't mean I don't, that you guys, the majority of the human beings, they do not understand comprehension at all anymore. I mean, the schools deliberately dumbed you down. There's a book called Deliberately Dumbed Down. You need to read it. It's amazing. That was written by a school teacher principal. The deliberately dumbing down of America. Is the name of the book. To actually show you how they deliberately dumbed you down. And I'm gonna do a whole. There's a New York Times article that must be done. It's written by a black person, and I'm going to show you exactly when they decided to deliberately dumb down black folks. I'm talking about deliberately dumb us down, and a black person helped to do that. Remember, I'm telling you, you better watch your. I don't think we got to it yet. I don't think it got pulled out yet, but when it do, hopefully I remember to bring up that article if I haven't done it. That I'm going to bring it up that article. That this is why you when we get to it, that article is going to be very important to it. It's a verse. I mean a chapter. It's a chapter in the Old Testament, wink wink, that goes along with that article that person wrote in 1992. It was in 1992. So I just need you to truly understand this because this is when I was coming up and school was different to what it is today because the kids are deliberately dumbing down of America. Just go. And you can buy the book, but she allows you to download it or read it online for free, for free. It's a must read. I'm telling you, it's a must read. So yes, that's. Oh yeah, where I was about to go on with that. When you, for comprehension purposes, usually the starting of a chapter is what the chapter is going to be about. So when that's why when Christians read a verse they're not reading the top part of the verse or the bottom part of the verse. So you're not going to get full context of what's actually going on. And this chapter right here was going to fully show that Christians have no idea what the hell they're talking about. All right. Judge not that ye judge not that ye be not judged. So that's what say you can't judge me. Okay. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged, and with what measure ye shall meet, it shall be measured to you again. So that's what like you can't judge because blah blah blah. And why beholdeth thy mote that's in thy brother's eye, but consider not the beam that is in thy own eye. So like why are you judging what your brother has and you're not even worried about what your own beam? Or wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote of thy eye, and behold, a beam is in, thy own eye, thou hypocrite. So that's what, stop reading there. First cast out the beam of thy own eye, and then thou shalt see clearly to cast out the mote of thy own brother's eye. So no. He's not telling you not to judge. He's telling you to judge righteously. You can't judge someone on something that you're doing wrong. That's all. That's what he said. He didn't say you can't judge it because he just told you what you need to do in order to judge your brother. He just went over it. So why do Christians and people say you can't judge? Even though there's judges, you judge this fruit, you judge this person. If you're walking in a dark alley and you see a person, you're going to judge that person that goes that way. So you judge. Everyone judges. He's telling you, and the Messiah is teaching you how to judge correctly. The church says you can't judge, and then black people say that judge stuff. No, a human being can't judge your soul, but they can judge your actions. Don't you ever forget that. You judge people's actions all the time. You judge your children's actions, your family actions, people actions. Like I say, if you see a bunch of young kids over here acting a fool, you're gonna judge them and not go over there, right? So stop playing with me. You judge all the time, but he's teaching you how to judge correctly. Remember, we have two books called Judges, and he said that once the incomes are going to set up righteous judges. We need judges. We need them. So, like I say, like if you know you need judges, then why would you say you can't judge me? That's foolish. You know the Messiah wouldn't say that. You know the Most High definitely wouldn't say that. Because, like I say, we have two books called Judges. All right, so let's continue. Give not that is which is holy unto the dog. Pause. Your dogs, you're not supposed to have dogs in your house. Dogs supposed to tend the flock and help you guard the flock. So if you have a dog, they need to be outside the house. I just need to know that the dog's not supposed to be inside the house. I just and then we're gonna discuss the dog thing. That they changed the dogs to be what they are today, and they did it on purpose. Oh, they're some smart wicked bastards. And it says, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under your feet and turn away and render you. I'm not saying I'm not going to teach that out loud. If you want to know, you're gonna have to contact me personally. I'm not going to teach that verse out loud. That is one-on-one teaching right there. I will not teach that verse out loud. So don't expect that. I'm not going over that. I will not give that to you. You figure it out yourself, or if you want to know, I'll give it to you. But I'm not explaining that verse, and it's very deep. It needs to be understood. 100%. Pray to the Most High and see if you can get it. It might take you years if you don't want to see. The problem is with that. Remember, it says after the pride comes the fall. You must humble yourself. I know the answer to this verse. Certain people aren't going to be willing to humble themselves because you're not humbling yourself to me because you're asking me, but you're not humbling yourself to me. This is for your own good. Everything that you're doing is for your sake. It's not for my sake. It's for your sake. That's what the Most High says. No, you doing that. You hurt yourself. You don't hurt me. You hurt yourself. I know what that means. And in order for to understand it without taking you a long time, because if you use your pride and not ask me, it's going to take you forever. But if you swallow your pride and you humble thyself, because you ain't humble yourself to me, you humble yourself to the Lord, that you'll know the answer. That this is very important. No, seriously, that verse right there is very important. And it says, "Ask and it shall be given to you." There it is, right there. So that there, and then next, I'm telling you, I wasn't looking at the screen. I wasn't looking at the screen. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be open unto you. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen right away. You have to put the work in. For everyone that asks, receives it. So if you ask, you shall receive. That's what it is. But you gotta. This is for the people that's trying to be righteous. Like the wicked don't get this right. There should be a simple understanding. So when the wicked asks, they don't receive. I'm just telling you that. Or if you haven't put the work in yet, you're not going to receive it. You're going to receive it later. You have to put the work in first to get this. That's why I said that verse there. I already know because I already put the work in. So it's up to you whether what you want to do. And then you don't know who is going to get you to answer your question. It doesn't. The Most High doesn't deal with us like this. He'll come to you in a dream once in a blue moon and this and that, but a man is going to answer your call. He's going to send a man to you, just like he sent the Messiah and disciples and apostles. He's going to send the prophets. He's going to send most likely a man. You're a man, so he's going to send a man. You can't behold them. He's not going to send you. He's not going to send the angel. You can't behold them, and then you're going to worship them. You see them because you're a damn fool. So yeah, yeah. Let's just continue. Or what man is there of you whom his son has asked bread? Will ye give him a stone? So he's telling you, like stop at. All right, we're gonna continue. Or if he asks a fish, will he give him a serpent? If ye then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things that ask unto him? So deep, Paul. Right. This is a super pause. He said that you being evil still get good gifts. So what do you think the ancient of great the most greatest good thing ever? What do you think he's going to give you if you ask him? Even if you still give your children good gifts and you're wicked, think about that. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do even to them. For this is the law and the prophets. So just like do unto others as others do unto you. That's where that term comes from. So that's the law of the prophets. So okay, so think about this, right? Everything about the prophets were to go out to and say the goodness of the Most High, and to say the Most High words, and to be kind and nice to everybody. So that's the law of the prophets. That's what they do. They're they they were wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. That's the prophets. That's what's their law and what they have done. Enter ye into the straight gate. So we know this. For wide is the gate. So we know wide is the gate. This is why I would tell you go on a narrow path. The path is narrow. And the broad is the way, and leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in therein. Thereat. I said therein, thereat. So he's telling you many. Few are called. I mean, many are called, few are chosen. He's reiterating this. There's a wide gate of destruction. Only a few people are going to go in the narrow path. It's narrow. Your blood cells have to go one by one to get to the arteries. They have to go in single file line because the path is narrow. Your whole way of life and existence of it. If you pour out all of your blood and and stretch your veins and everything else, they're miles and miles and blah 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 and this and that, but they're in a body of 6 feet. Do you understand how narrow just your body is? Your body itself is narrow. With all of this stuff going in the circle of life of narrowing, because it being your blood is it's getting restored. It's a circle of life right there in your body, and it's a narrow path. With your body's amazing. It really truly is. And it's a narrow path. So he's telling you here that it's a narrow path, and many people are going to go into the wide gate of destruction. And it says, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, a few there be that find it. This is why I keep telling you. 666. 66.6% of the earth are going to die. 33.3% of the people are going to survive. That's narrow. It's a small percentage of human beings. 2/3 will get cut off, 1/3 will be spared because they found that narrow path and they're trying to stay on it. Even though they won't perfectly perfect it, but they're still trying to stay on it. The majority of the earth don't care about the narrow path. They want to do what makes them happy and not what is right. So it says, beware of false prophets. How many times do I got to keep telling you this? Which come to you in sheep clothes, but inwardly they're ravaging wolves. That's all your pastors and preachers. I told you all of them are going to die. All of them. All they do is tell you to give you money all day, teaching you prosperity when you're suffering. You're on this earth. We went over this book many times. We went over these videos. You're amongst your enemies. Everybody been told the wrong way. Your pastors and shepherds are blessing you when you're cursed. The Messiah was the last prophet and shepherd. So he's warning you of this here. And it says, ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? So you're going to know them by what they do. You're going to know them. Don't be fooled, because all right. So there's no more prophets. There's no more shepherds after the Messiah. I mean, after the Messiah. So if they were truly, truly, truly sent by the Lord, so this is what he's telling you: the law and the prophets of how they're going to act. So remember, this is a comprehension lesson. The Messiah up here told you the law of the prophets. Now he's showing you down here that there's many false prophets because they won't follow the law of the prophets. So you're not going to find any prophet because no one follows the law of the prophets. They don't even know what the law of the prophets is. Ask a pastor preacher what's the law of the prophets. He probably like, what the hell are you talking about? I call you heathen. But it's right there in this book and the Messiah that he worships right there. And it says, wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Not everyone that says unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that does the will of my Father which is in heaven. So he's always going to talk about you got to do the law and the commandments. You don't follow the Messiah. You do the will of the Father, which he keeps telling you this. That's why I was about to fast forward the video. We're gonna come back to all of this here when we fast forward when we start talking about how the shepherds are going to die as we continue to conclude why all the shepherds are going to die and the sheep that follow them they're going to die. It says, "Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name?" So when he shows up, this is what they're going to come running to him saying. And he says, "And in thy name have we cast out devils, and in thy name done many wondrous works." So right now, there's a group of people who are doing stuff in his name everywhere, all over the earth. You know who that is. Christianity is the biggest religion on earth. He says narrows the way. Only 20, only one third of the population of the earth is going to survive. And then he's talking about people that are doing something in his name. And then it says, "And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity." So that means that there's people right now on this earth that are following the Messiah and they're performing iniquity. You just saw it with your own two eyes. You just saw it with your own two eyes. Deny it all you want to. Just die. I don't care. Deny it and die. That's my saying. Deny it and die. Simple as that. Therefore, whomsoever hear these words of mine and does them, or doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. You know what rock that is. We're good. You already understand all of this stuff. But it should anyway. And the rain descended, and the flood come, and the winds blew and beat upon that house. It fell not, for it was founded upon a rock, because that rock ain't moving. No matter what goes on, that rock ain't moving. This is the seed in the sower, right here. Seed in the sower. And everyone that have heard these sayings of mine and does them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built this house upon the sand. I'm telling you these words of the Messiah here, so you don't listen. This is what you're going to do. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and a great was the fall of it. And it came to pass when Joshua had ended these things, the people were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one having authority, and not as one of the scribes. Okay, so that was Matthew 7. So for those of you who don't know, once I found out how wicked the New Testament was, quotation, I put this book down for years. Years, 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 years. I'll come back to it here and there just to find some stuff, just to get more insight and try to see if my theory be true. And then I found out that my theory to be true, so that was fact. It's not a theory anymore. The theory was that Christianity, Catholics, Constantine, the Nicene Council, King James, all of them, the Messianic Jews, all of them they changed and destroyed everything. But in the process of that, they combined all the religions together. And that means that my religion is in here too. So I just have to figure out a way to find it correctly. So the only way you're going to be able to find your religion inside of this book is to read the Septuagint, not the Old Testament, the Septuagint. So that's what I did. So I would only come back to this purposely, here and there to get small gist of it. Then the Most High, because this was not my will by no stretch of the imagination. Then the Most High started to, I'm talking about randomly introducing me to people again. Randomly, I guess, because, the times of what's going on. Started randomly introducing me to people again. So I started to teach them the ways of the Messiah and the Most High, not my ways. I mean, of course, I followed them, so this is my ways, but You know, the I'm doing the will of the Father in heaven. So that's what I'm doing. So, these are my ways, but I get my ways through them, through the Most High, and then through the Messiah, then through the prophets, and then, and then the angels and everyone else that he sends, and then finally me, lonely me, lowly me. What I meant more than lonely, lowly me. So that's how it goes. And I started to, where the Most High started introducing me into tons of people that because they said that they prayed for the Most High to answer some of the questions, and then I appeared. I'm not saying I'm not special at all. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. But I do know that I know more than 99% of the human beings on this whole entire planet of this book. I do know that. I do know that. And then suddenly something happened where we start having the discussions, and then I start answering all the questions that the Most High asked them. And I've been doing this for a long time, but it's usually for older people. Younger people usually don't care about this book. So when I used to do this, older folks was the ones that used to come to me trying to get their answers. And then, of course, they die, they get sick, and they have other things to do, and they found what they're looking for, and the Lord sent them on their way. So there was a large gap. And, of course, my understanding is, every time that you do this, your understanding grows. So imagine years of my understanding just getting better and better, and then all of a sudden the Most High started bringing more and more people into my existence, especially because life is we're probably in the middle of revelations right now. We're probably in the middle of it. So there's people seeking answers, and somehow, some way, the Most High sent sent them to me or whatever because they helped me too. So because they definitely, as we started doing this, I started going through all the stuff that I know, all my notes, everything, and bringing it to them. So now I'm bringing it back to the earth again. So this was once regular stuff that was on YouTube and everything else. So now it's being brought back again because of that there that I decided to. Because I mean, I was doing this for myself, and now I'm doing this for the world again, and everyone else, and anybody who's willing to listen. So I'm doing this once again that I once did before, and it's like I went and hid. I felt like I was walking by myself. That I went and hid in the mountain, and I was praying to the Most High by myself. And now I was told to go, and I'm not saying that it's that, but I'm just saying, just wasn't. I'm not a prophet. Let's not get that twisted. No stress in the meditation. He said that he's going to send fishers. That's it. There's no prophets anymore. Fishers. I could be a fisher. I don't know. Seems as such, but I don't even know that. But yeah. So I got back into my notes, going back into the New Testament. Before then, I stay away from the New Testament. Been doing it for years because it's so corrupt that I don't even want to look at it. But now that I these people came back into my existence and my life to make me do this, that I had to go back into the New Testament. So it's like this is all new to me again, looking at the New Testament because my knowledge and then actually seeing it again from all the years of staying away from it and bringing it back that I can really really find my religion in it now. That was a part of what was the followers of the Most High. I can find them in the I can find it in the New Testament now, like fully. I always knew it was there, and I can find certain parts of it, but I can really truly find it now. And then as time goes, it's going to get even stronger because I don't think I'm going to stop doing this ever again now. I don't think this is something I can actually stop doing anymore because I always knew that at one point of time that I'm going to. I'm not dumb. I mean, just for the fact that I know and listen to everybody, this and that. That somebody has to do this. That I'm going to get a cold stuck in my mouth, and I'm not going to ever be able to not do this again. It's just understood. It's because I mean, if you understand the Messiah, he's a servant of you, and he's better and stronger than you. The Most High has made everything, and he's a servant of you. So what's my excuse? Especially considering that I have a vast array of knowledge. I have a library in my house. A library. Like literally, I have a library. I have that many books. I have tons of books. And if people give away, so libraries and stuff, to give away old books for cheap dollars. I used to go down there with carts and carts and carts of, you know, like a cart, and just buy a bunch of books. You know how people, we we all have something that we like, but people buy frivolous stuff that just not going to help them at all. I only do that once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon, everything I pretty much buy has a reason and a rhyme and a reason to it. It's the reason why I do it. Sure, that everybody has something that they like on this earth because you're human. You can't escape that. But you should be doing things for rhyme and reason because the earth is here, the world is here to destroy you. So you have to understand that. So you have to start doing things that's intelligent for your growth because they're trying not to make you grow. So I have a whole bunch of books, and whenever they get them out for free, I'm there. I don't throwing away a book hurts me because it's so I understand because of my research of how much knowledge has been destroyed, how many book burnings, changing of the scriptures, adding themselves in here. Just all of this. We know this, and it's going to get deeper into more of how we go about this. Like this isn't even a slither of understanding of what I have been doing for these years. Not even a slither. But everybody has to crawl before they walk. So I'm giving the breadcrumbs and leading everyone to where they need to go. Because I'm just doing what the Most High and the Messiah says to do, as we see here, the law of the prophets. I'm not a prophet, but they would do that if they were a prophet. I'm not a prophet, so I'm not doing the law. Well, I am, but I'm not a prophet by no stretch of the imagination. And I'll never say that. All I am, if I am, that's will be a fisher. That's the most that I am. But I'm just telling you that I've seen thousands, probably millions of preachers and YouTube videos and this and that, and people in front of their understanding is not there. It isn't. They don't go deep. They don't do the history. They don't do the science, and they don't reprove the word. The Most High tells you to reprove His word by you not doing that, because people will be like, "Why should I got to trust Him and believe Him?" That's not what He tells you to do. So you're not listening to Him. You're saying you're a follower of Him. You're not listening to Him. He says to reprove His word. By reproving His word, it actually makes you stronger. I just gave you a super cheat code. By reproving the words of the Most High, your faith is actually going to grow. This is the manna from heaven. Hallelujah.